that when I met you. I was like a junior, like first class I ever took. It was like basic module. And you were like already working your way up the chain of code enforcement, realize where you wanted to go. And you could already tell, especially now looking back, you were like that guy. So that was a long time ago. It was like 2015, I think.
Yeah, I have to thank, oh man, I can't think of his name right at the moment, but he's an instructor. He used to work in Georgia as a code enforcement manager. And I went to one of his trainings in 2011. This is 9 years into my career. And I just was stagnant. I was bored. I was doing the same thing every single day. And I'm just like, oh man, when is this going to end? You know? And that instructor, and I hope to think of his name before the end of it because you've heard of him. He asked all of us students at this training to figure out what we want to do in 5 and 10 years. And I just hadn't given it a lot of thought. Okay. And when I took time to give it some thought, I came up with, I want to lead and I want to teach. And it's been 10 years and I've been able to do both of those things. And so I'm really happy about it. And I actually took it. So I'm telling all you code enforcement officers right now that are bored with your jobs, do this right now. Take out a piece of paper, write down, what is it you want to do in 5 and 10 years? Where do you want to be? And then you stick that on your screen in front of you. And every day you look at that and ask yourself, am I working towards that goal? Is the thing I'm doing today getting me to that goal? So I had to go get a degree. I had to start practicing my teaching skills, my public speaking skills. I went to, what is that group you go to learn how to speak in public? And,
Toastmasters?
Toastmasters, yeah. During my lunch breaks in Palm Desert, I'd go to Toastmasters. Okay. And I just made it my goal to get to that, and I did. And it's really just a matter for me is putting it right in front of you. And it was right there in front of me every day. I didn't take it down till a couple of years ago. I realized, wait a minute, I got here. I need to make a new set of goals.
Yeah. That's awesome. And so that was a class you took that inspired you to do that then, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
I was at the Educode in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's awesome.
And so, what I was going to say is, you kind of pointed out that common thing with a lot of people in this profession, which is you get to that point of feeling stagnation or boredom. And for me, in one of our episodes, I mentioned, getting involved in associations and just try to do something different. But that was a great point that you said about, going to trainings and then setting goals for yourself that, you're not just living the moment, you're trying to think of what's next. And I think those are great points. And I was curious with that tie-in, because you had a goal of, that leadership role and public speaking and so forth. How was that transition going from your years in field work and case management and then working your way and getting promoted to the level that you are now?
Well, and so probably when I met you, Cheyenne, it was right towards the end of my code enforcement and when I went in to become a management analyst. And the reason I did that, and so this again is a lesson for any other code officers out there, my supervisor wasn't going anywhere. He loves his job. He doesn't have any intent to promote. And so the only way I was going to go past him is I had to go around him. And so that's exactly what I did is I kept applying for those management analyst jobs. And then the manager job opened up in Eastvale back in 2019, and I went for that. And it turned out I was a really good fit for that organization. Wow. They have a culture that I appreciate, love to talk about it more, but it's really focused on delivering government better, which is what I want to do. And so that's my new goal. That's kind of when I got into the position of a director, I said, I'm not going to rest on my laurels. And of course, this is appropriate for our city because we have one of the world's largest Amazon distribution centers in the world.
Yes, you do. That city is blown up like crazy.
Yeah. I'm not going to rest on my laurels until we deliver government as good as Amazon delivers shopping.
Okay.
And to that end, we've gotten all of our permitting online now, so you don't even have to come to City Hall. We can do electronic plan review. All that stuff bigger cities have already done. Our little city hadn't got to. And so we were able to get those things done. And we're keeping working towards other things like that. In the code division, when I got there, it was, as our old city manager liked to say, smoke signals and homing pigeons. That's how we got the word out. They didn't have computers in the field. They didn't have laptop or printers in the field. They didn't have any software. Everything was kind of manual with, spreadsheets or whatever they could put their hands on.
Okay.
So we went and got some good software that could really track their code cases. I'll give them a plug, GoGov. I think they're fantastic. A lot of other managers love them too. And we got them printers in the field. We got them a mobile hotspot. We got them a phone so they can stay in the field. They can answer calls as if they were at their desk. And it just made productivity so much better and so much easier. You don't have to run back to City Hall to try to print a letter and go back out and post your notice. It's all done from in the field right there in your vehicle. Even brochures and handouts and stuff, if they run out, they can print a couple off in the vehicle and not have to worry about it till the end of the day. So we really made those improvements. And from the beginning of 2017 until about a year ago, we had increased our productivity by 277%.
Wow.
Per full-time employee. So it's just a matter of putting those things in place. These people aren't working harder; they're working smarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and with more technology and with better processes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Giving them the resources to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I had a manager a long time ago. There was discussions about hiring more people, or that seems to be the answer a lot of times. Oh, we need more people. We need more people. We need more people. And he kind of made a point, and I remember thinking, just young in my career, like, I need to remember this. He goes, is it you need more people, or because your process isn't efficient? Is there a technology or something out there that can make you even better? So I like that you guys were able to do that individually per officer.
I think GoGov adds an officer to your team, and that's what our city had been doing, is adding more people. And the city manager finally said, I don't think that's the solution here. We need to bring in somebody who really knows how to do code enforcement and clean this division up, because they're just not that effective. And so that's what we were able to do there. And it really made a difference. And we have a really high performing team now that's just knocking it out of the park.
That's great.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. So you've worked your way up. I mean, I believe now you're, correct me if I'm wrong, community safety director. Is that
correct?
Your new title, correct? Because you were, that's like, you're like the guy for everybody. Building safety, right? I mean, you're like the guy for code enforcement and everything else under that, correct?
Yeah, my department's a little different than most cities. We have building and safety, community enhancement and safety, which is code enforcement. Then we have emergency management, and we have our environmental and recycling, which includes waste management and the street sweeping services.
Okay, I like that. I like the community enhancement part. I think Justin and I discussed a lot on here about, we do community relations. Yes, the enforcement piece is like what we do, but it's about connecting with your coworkers, the community, building these relationships. So I like that it's called community enhancement, because really that's what we do too. It's not just an enforcement piece. I mean, we're just trying to make everything look better and make it safe for everybody. If you boil it down, that's my 2 cents.
And every city's different. I think in some cities, code enforcement is a little bit more appropriate, unfortunately. In our city, it really is what you just said, Cheyenne. It's making connections with people and helping them understand how the little part of what they do really helps the entire community.
Yeah. I mean, and
when that doesn't work, citation therapy.
Correct. Yeah. It's always there. And I like that you say that.
The tools
Justin,
are there.
I mean, Justin, your city probably operates different, but I like that. It doesn't have to be the citation therapy first. It could be, it's all the other avenues that we can try to take before we even get to that point. I mean, what do you think, Justin?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think just like Johnny said that, I know there's an interest to have it like one title nationwide, statewide, but it's true. I feel like there are cities where the way that you phrase the division is a little differently than others. And I agree. Especially cities that are really up and coming, they're on a good token. You're just trying to preserve or enhance those. Whereas you get some cities that are a lot older and there's a lot of things that have been ignored for years. You kind of need more of that enforcement to kind of kickstart that. But I agree that it's really city to city. But the enhancement is really the goal at the end of the day, not the enforcement.
There's some that are called neighborhood improvement divisions, and that may be a city that's older, and some of the neighborhoods are starting to deteriorate, and so then it's an appropriate way to address that. I'm open to all that different stuff. Same with officer safety. I think it's can be a touchy subject sometimes, but it's really about what the city needs. What are the needs of that city?
Yes.
I learned this a long time ago. I was